woolly milk cap mushroom, very poisonous.
The Apothecary Diaries blends mystery, romance, and court intrigue, following Maomao, a sharp-witted apothecary kidnapped into palace life. Rising from servant to poison tester, she solves high-stakes mysteries with Sherlock-level deduction and elite medical knowledge. Today we will be looking at 10 mysterious, Maomao solved in Apothecary Diaries.
This wasn't a double suicide. It was attempted murder.
Number 10. The Poisoned Soup Mystery. Maomao isn't afraid to put some skin in the game when it comes to solving mysteries. She's also very cavalier about using herself as a guinea pig for studying herbs and poisons. She has a plethora of tactics for solving mysteries that go beyond basic physician skills as well, like dusting for fingerprints. When Gyokuyu's soup that was poisoned, Jinshi takes the attempt on her life extremely seriously. Gyokuyu is one of the emperor's favorite wives, and she's very kind and sisterly to Maomao. Maomao suspects at first that the poisoning may come from one of the other concubines or their maids. When Jinshi asks Maomao to uncover who poisoned a bowl of soup, Maomao dusts the silver bowl for fingerprints and matches them to a court newcomer. The courtesans may be more privileged than most, but they also bear the brunt of added mortal peril for their positions in court.
This is poison.
Number 9. The Cursed Servant Mystery. The Apothecary Diaries is a historical anime where medical knowledge wasn't always easily accessible. This episode has a less glamorous mystery, but it exemplifies what a great Dr. Maomao is. It also showcases her ability to build relationships with other people, like the palace physician, and the poor servant convinced that he's cursed, marked by strange burns on his palms. Superstitions are born of fear and ignorance, and sometimes the most fearful conditions have the simplest answers. Maomao has a surprisingly good bedside manner as she explains that the servant isn't cursed. She solved the mystery, and the servant's fear, with a simple science lesson about chemicals making flames a different color.
Try this medicine, and let us know how it works.
Thank you. The little lady's medicines are perfection.
Number 8. The Poisoned Soldier Mystery. Soldiers endure poisoning as they dine during a tumultuous event in a local village, and Jinshi's tasked with solving how exactly they got poisoned. Not all poisonings are on purpose, and not all poisons are ingested. Maomao teases out the source of the poison, and deduces that the soldiers accidentally poisoned themselves. Maomao loves poisons, and she's trained meticulously with herb lore, so she isolates that the soldiers were poisoned not through their food, but through inhalation. They used the wood from a nearby rhododendron plant for their cook fire. Rhododendron is highly poisonous in a few ways, from its leaves to its smoke.
Like in a fire.
So that's the cause.
Number 7. The Puffer Fish Mystery. Maomao has a taste for poisons, but most people don't have Maomao's cultivated tolerance. When a fellow dangerous cuisine connoisseur succumbs to poisoning, people are left scratching their heads. The bureaucrat ate perfectly prepared puffer fish. Puffer fish is incredibly poisonous, but it's safe to eat when prepared well, so the great mystery is how the bureaucrat ended up in a coma. Maomao doesn't get bogged down in absolutes. She's great at observing the variables and finer details of a situation. She deduces that the highly poisonous but perfectly prepared puffer fish is a red herring, and then isolates the true problem, an ill-prepared garnish. She traces back the seaweed's origin to a southern distributor, and the bureaucrat's angry brother-in-law that's behind the seaweed.
It was the official's younger brother. When we found out where he bought the seaweed, he quickly admitted to purchasing it.
Number 6. The Inheritance Mystery. When a prestigious metalworker passes away, he leaves his sons scratching their heads as they try to understand his will, but Maomao lends her skills to the inheritance mystery. The metalworker didn't just have preferences for how he wanted his property divided, he also had a message he wanted his children to understand about themselves and each other. Locksmithing isn't in Maomao's skill set, but nevertheless, her observational talents serve her well. The mystery about a father's true wishes for his children foreshadows some of Maomao's own familial revelations in the finale. As usual, the answer to the episode's mystery is explained by science. Maomao takes one son's inherited fishbowl and fills it with water, angling it against the sun to create a beam pointing toward a mysteriously locked chest. Each brother realizes that his father wants each of them to work in specific parts of the business, because he valued the unique skills each son has to offer.
Thank you very much!
but I should tell him just this one thing.
Number 5. The Mystery Sickness. Maomao witnesses two concubines fighting and discovers that their animosity comes from pain, not jealousy or backbiting. The concubines are worried about their infants, who suffer from a mysterious sickness that no one can identify. Maomao tries to keep a low profile while working in the palace, but she steps forward to help the concubines and their babies. Maomao identifies the sickness, and it's no infection or virus. The babies aren't sick, they're being poisoned slowly by the lead paint the concubines wear in their makeup. She quickly advises the concubines to eschew the lead-based makeup as it's poisonous, but sadly, she can't convince everyone in time. One concubine, Gyokuyu, does heed Maomao's warning, and her child is spared from the poison. The episode is a great introduction to the court dynamics, and Maomao's skills and values.
For saving the life of my precious Lingli, I am in your debt.
Please, my lady, I fear your gratitude is far too generously given.
Number 4. The Brothel Poisoning Mystery. A servant girl from a brothel begs for Maomao's help after a double poisoning incident between a high-profile courtesan and her patron. Maomao immediately leaps into physician mode and, luckily, she revives both people. Then Maomao starts her investigation, teasing out what exactly happened. Not only is Maomao wonderful at noticing small details and putting subtle clues together, she's great at investigating without judgment. Maomao isn't a pushover by any means, but serving the red light district and being close with the women there gives her a measured and compassionate insight. Maomao unravels the attempted murder and the emotional abuse that led to it, sparing both the courtesan's life and the brothel embarrassment.
This wasn't a double suicide. It was attempted murder.
Number 3. The Blue Rose Challenge. Lacan is a sharp strategist, and when he subtly challenges Jinshi to find blue roses to please the emperor, Jinshi is game for the test. Jinshi hasn't the slightest clue about how to acquire blue roses, though. Roses aren't in season yet, and blue isn't a natural color for even the rarest breeds of rosé. Jinshi goes to Maomao, the apothecary extraordinaire. Normally, Maomao can be trusted for poison detection, but as a curious scientific mind and as a trained apothecary, she loves researching and finding rare plants. Maomao works day and night, growing robust roses in a hot house, but the blue color takes some creative tinkering. Maomao dyes the rose water on the sly, temporarily making them blue just in time for the emperor's spring party. Number 2. The Ah Duo's Son Mystery. The Garnet Pavilion, home of some of the emperor's favorite wives, is in utter turmoil. Jinshi wants to get to the bottom of the issue as people are getting sick, and one of the concubine's servants died. He and Maomao work together to get to the bottom of the issue, though the ladies try to resist Maomao's investigation, at first. The sickness is all tied to honey. Honey is perfectly harmless to most adults, but it's easily a fatal poison to infants under 1 year old who are particularly prone to botulism. Maomao connects Ah Duo's son's death with the honey, and she educates the rest of the Garnet Pavilion about the dangers of giving honey to young babies. Maomao couldn't save Ah Duo's son, but she potentially saves countless other children by educating their mothers and staff about honey and botulism. Number 1. The Explosion Mystery. Maomao studies the scene of a warehouse explosion in previous episodes, and the more she finds out, the bigger the mystery gets. This mystery is amazing because Maomao is so stumped that she consults her physician father, who reminds her not to make hasty assumptions. It's a great glimpse into Maomao's training from her father. Jinshi also incentivizes Maomao with an Ox Bazaar reward. Maomao practically salivates at the idea of obtaining one. Maomao finds items at the scene of a poisoning and an explosion that link together. They lead Maomao to the next planned catastrophe, a sabotaged beam planned to fall during a purification ceremony. The beam's meant to kill Jinshi, of all people. Maomao cracks the case just in time to rush to Jinshi's aid, saving him. Well, that's it for today, folks. Which mystery was your favorite from the list? Tell me in the comment box. And for more, subscribe. Bye, have a nice day.